Hello, Scorpio. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and today we're using the Urban Crow Oracle deck. This card keeps wanting to show itself waterproof. We'll see if that comes out for you or not. I'm sorry. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and today we're using the Urban Crow Oracle deck to see what your future self would like to say to you at this time. I have set the intention of this reading to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. So if you have any of those placements, odds are there's a little message in this reading for you today. If you're not sure what your placements are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Take a look at that site and then just come back here and watch the video of your choosing. Also, keep in mind, Scorpio, that this is a collective general reading. It is not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that don't fully resonate, and if that happens, don't get upset. It just means that message is meant for someone else of your sign. So take what fits, how it fits, and leave what doesn't. With all of that said, let's begin. Tapping into the Scorpio collective now for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What message does Scorpio's future self have for Scorpio today? What does future you want to tell you at this time? For Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your message, isolation, card number 27. And at the bottom of the deck, we have dominance, card number 16. I don't think this card has come out before. Okay, let me read this to you since this is part of your message from your future self. Isolation. Even when surrounded by a group, we all have experienced a feeling of being alone at one time or another. You may need to consider if you are holding back input out of fear of expressing an unpopular opinion. This card may also indicate a group or community that didn't connect with your beliefs, causing you to feel ostracized. Use this time to look inward, examining what ideas or insights come to mind. Isolation may also indicate a need to remove yourself from a situation to quiet your mind and contemplate your next move. Isolation may bring to the surface feelings associated with abandonment and can represent a block centered around the fear that your actions may lead to not being accepted or removed from a group. Fear of being cast aside might result in you limiting your potential by withholding ideas or suppressing inspiration. For example, if you grew up in a home where lack and scarcity of resources was a dominating factor, and now as an adult you have opportunities to create financial freedom, the fear of no longer fitting in with your family may prevent you from reaching your greatest potential. Because if you are successful, you then may risk conflict with your family as your paths diverge. Okay. Dominance, card number 16. Like all creatures, crows establish a pecking order, and to do so, the stronger bird asserts its power. Dominance indicates that you may be feeling restricted by someone or that a stressful situation is impacting your thoughts and decisions. Someone or something may be flexing their muscle, which will cause friction within, as you may not be able to fight or defend yourself. This card may represent a boss who makes you work overtime, a partner who always picks the restaurant, or a friend who always has to win. May also indicate your need to be in control. On a positive note, dominance may indicate your power over something and your ability to control a situation. I want to go back to that card number 27 for you real quick. Okay, I feel as if some of you are in a situation, environment, or connection that there's another entity here that you have given your power to. This entity has taken like dominance basically over your life. Like they're controlling your path or your decisions. And this could be in career and finance, love and romance, or any other connection in your life. And I feel like for some of you, you're afraid to speak up. You're afraid to speak up, or you're afraid to say what you want, or you're afraid to appear to be too dominant because you don't want to be like ostracized by this person, or you don't want them to disconnect from you, or you don't want them to break up from you, which is odd because Scorpios, technically you're not the sign that is afraid to say what's on their mind. So this connection, oh, isn't it interesting? When I put the cards down, I reverse them. Yeah, you're playing a reverse role. You've given your power away, Scorpio. You've given your power away. I feel like you should be the dominant one. It's interesting how I put those in the wrong pile, in the wrong section. All right, let's get into tarot. But I feel like the message from your future self here is that you can't be afraid to say what it is that you want or you desire or that you need. Because then you're like, I don't know, afraid that you'll get fired or afraid that you'll, lose the person from your life or they won't talk to you again. I feel like I've tapped into a group of you where your future self is telling you you need to take your power back. First card out of the deck, we have Five of Wands, discord. Yeah, someone else is calling the shots here. Five of Wands, Ace of Wands, and that is the truth. Whenever I say anything in tarot, if you've seen my readings before, you know that if I see the ace, any of the aces, and there's only 4 in the deck, I feel like the message is on point. I feel like it's the universe doubling down on that. Ace of Wands, 4 of Wands, and the Hierophant. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Star, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Knight of Cups. That leaves the Six of Pentacles, Empress, and Page of Pentacles here to Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Tell me about this Five of Wands here. I feel like you've given your power away to another entity, or you're about to, Scorpio. And that other entity is coming through today as the Hierophant. This could be your significant other. This could be your life partner. This could be your spouse. It could be an elder in your church or a religious community. It very well could be your boss or someone at work who you believe has higher or like more authority than you do. This is Taurian energy. This is someone who's rooted in their beliefs. This is the traditionalist of all traditionalists in tarot. The opposite of the Hierophant is the devil. So if the devil is tarot's largest nonconformist, the Hierophant is tarot's largest conformist. This is we do what we do because I say that's what we do. This is the parent, like when you were growing up and you're like, but why? And they're like, because I said so. This is a because I said so person here in your life. Okay. You've given your power away, or you're about to give your power away to the because I said so person. Okay. Tell me about the Five of Wands here for Scorpio. For Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What an interesting message for you today, Scorpio. Tell me about the Five of Wands here for Scorpio. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Five of Wands is being clarified by the Queen of Cups. There you are, whether you are masculine or feminine. I have a King of Pentacles. Again, we go back to this earth energy, this stubborn energy here. And then we have the Six of Cups. So this is a soulmate, soul bond connection in your life. I have the World card here at the bottom of the deck. You are supposed to learn a lesson, or you are currently learning a lesson. Your future self is telling you whether you were supposed to and you didn't, or you're currently in the middle of this. There's a lesson here for you to be learned, for you to learn from this soulmate, soul bond connection. There's a lot of conflict here. This person is not on the same page as you are, Scorpio, but they're like the authority figure in the connection that they have with you. You have given your power over. And not to make things sound hierarchical, has nothing to do with feminine, masculine, or anything like that. But in all 4 suits in tarot, there's a hierarchy. And we have the knights, and then we have the queens, and then we have the kings. You, whether you're masculine or feminine, came out as a queen, and this other entity came out as a king. So there's a hierarchy here. And so I feel like, and even in this photo, isn't this interesting how the Queen of Cups is like dressed in gold? I always look at, my eyes always catch different things in the photos when I'm doing readings. So the Queen of Cups here is in gold. And look who's in gold here, the smaller person in the Six of Cups card. So there's something here about you looking up to this person, or you putting them up on a pedestal. Roles are supposed to be reversed. You've put this person on a pedestal and you have ceded your control to them. And if this is not something that you have done recently, then it is something you're about to do. So this message will go for both groups here. Ace of Wands. Tell me about the Ace of Wands. Tell me about the Ace of Wands here. I think you need to get your fire. I always say if Scorpio wasn't a water sign, you really should have been a fire sign. And your ruling planet originally was Mars, before they swapped you out for Pluto. So I think you need to take your fire back. What fell out of the deck? The Fool and the Seven of Wands. This would be you taking your fire back. In the Seven of Wands, the individual is holding the Ace of Wands and setting up a boundary here. And the Seven of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. King of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups to the Ten of Swords. Yeah, you've been doing this for a while. And I don't think that this is just one person here in your life. I think you have had people in your life that you are continually giving your power over to. This has been going on for a long time. And there's a need here for you to reclaim your power back from this individual. And if you're about to secede and give your power away, your future self is telling you you really need to think this over. Four of Wands. Why is the Four of Wands here for Scorpio? Why is the Four of Wands here for Scorpio? Your cards really want to talk today. Oof. One more shuffle here. I'm feeling anger. Please and thank you. What fell out of the deck? The Sun, the Hanged Man, and the King of Cups. This is you reclaiming your power and going from queen to king. This is you seeing this from another perspective and saying, wait a minute, in this connection or connections or partnership or partnerships, whatever this is for you, we need to be equals. Notice in the Six of Cups, you here appeared smaller, shorter, okay? But in the Four of Wands, the same two people are now same height. There's something here about you seeing this from a different perspective, almost like, why am I giving full control to this person? Or why am I giving my autonomy away from this person? Why am I living or thinking or changing my beliefs or changing my life path based upon this person or what they're saying or what they're controlling? So there's something here, you going from a queen to a king and getting this change of perspective here about your happiness and what your true calling is, or what you're here to do, or what your real beliefs are, or what happiness looks like to you. There's something here about like you evaluating your Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles here in the Star card energy. I feel like you need to take your power back here, or your future self is warning you to not give your power away to this entity. The Hierophant. Tell me more about this individual or these individuals. Tell me more about the Hierophant. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Hierophant. Oh, and I just noticed something. I love when my eyes go to certain things on the cards. Remember the King of Pentacles was all in blue? Look what's underneath the red robe of the Hierophant. Blue. You can see the pant leg there is blue. So this person, or the archetype, whatever, of this person, has been calling the shots here. They're dressed as an authority figure. You have put them on this podium, on this, I don't know, this is like a castle-like emperor type of chair. Lovers, King of Swords, and the Tower. Someone needs to be knocked off of their pedestal. And I don't say that in a violent way at all. There's something here about you making the choice, because the Tower is you, it's Plutonic energy, you seeing things clearly, and you making the choice to say, no, those are not my beliefs. Though that's not what I want to do. That's not the direction I'm going in. Because this is an opposing force here to you in the Five of Wands. It's not Five of Swords, but it's Five of Wands. So when there's discord or there's a disagreement, you retreat or you don't say what you want to say. There's like a communication wound here in the Scorpio collective. And with that, you have given your power over to someone, I don't know, in the name of keeping the peace. You've overcompromised yourself, Scorpio, in the name of keeping the peace. And your future self is telling you that this person needs to be knocked down a peg, figuratively speaking, or brought back into reality. The Star. This is a wound here. Tell me about the Star card here for Scorpio. What needs healing here? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Star, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Everything I just said is the truth. The Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, I love that. And the Page of Swords, communication wounds. There's a communication wound that you need to learn. I'll put it that way. Because I don't think there's anything broken in you, you know, that like needs repair. I don't even want to call it a communication wound, to be quite honest with you. I just feel like it's a new way of communicating. A new way of communicating that is balanced, fire energy, temperance, but it's balanced. We have no cups here, so it's not emotional. It's factual. It's rooted in earth energy with the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Swords being how, the way that you communicate. So there's something here about you not backing down, you not shutting up to keep the peace, you not over compromising yourself, but not getting all upset and angry about it either, but just learning a new way to communicate, a new way to disagree, conflict resolution skills, a way to speak up without sounding threatening, right? Temperance energy, Sagittarius energy, it's fire energy, it's your neighboring sign, but temperance is quiet fire. So having the passion and conviction to say what you want to say from a healed and grounded place, non-emotional. Page of Wands. Sorry, I had your deck reversed there. Page of Wands. Tell me about the Page of Wands. Tell me about the Page of Wands for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Page of Wands is clarified by the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Three of Wands, putting an end to that. And that's the truth again. Ace of Cups now at the bottom of the deck. There's something here about learning a way to communicate before it comes to this. Because I feel like this is what's been happening, or at least this is what your future self is trying to tell you. There's discord. You're at odds with someone. You hold it back, hold it back, hold it back. And then when you finally erupt, kind of like a tower, kind of like a volcano type of feeling, then it's Ten of Wands and Ten of Swords and Three of Wands. It's just a spew of emotion. And then you cut the person off or whatever. It's like, fuck you. Sorry. I just got demonetized, but I love you, Scorpio, so it's okay. But it's the I said what I said and F you, and I'm turning my back on you, Three of Wands, and I'm going another direction. And there's something here about you learning, the Page of Wands, learning, discovering a new way to communicate. Because I feel like you go from 0 to 100. Your future self is telling you go from 0 to 100. 0, I secede, I secede, I secede. I don't say anything. I try to keep the peace. I pretend that doesn't bother me. I keep this person on a pedestal. I make the active choice to do that. Then I get very angry that whatever is happening here is happening. And you feel like you're being dominated. And no one likes to feel dominated. And then you come out with the, I'm not putting up with this. And I'm not putting up with this. And last week you left the towels on the floor and the toothpaste cap off of the thing, blah, blah, blah. And the person's looking at you like, oh my God, you're crazy. Seriously, like you're going off on me because I left the towel on the floor and the cap of the toothpaste bottle off of the tube. But that's not what it is for you. And you're not crazy. But because you have given someone else control, allowed them to dominate the situation out of fear of being ostracized or isolated from them, you've allowed it to build up, kind of like that energy that builds up in a volcano before it spews and ruins the whole town, right? That's the feeling here. So there's something here about you learning to take back your control by learning a new way to effectively communicate. So you don't end up with 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, and then 3 of Wands, you're turning your back on them, they're turning their back on you, etc., etc. And this is more than one person. I feel like this is a pattern. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords could very well be patterns for some of you. So, Knight of Cups. Tell me about the Knight of Cups here. Because the Knight of Cups holds the Ace of Cups, and that's what this individual and you are holding here, but you appear to be giving it to this person. So it was off balance. You were constantly giving love or giving respect or giving admiration and allowing this person to control this whole situation or this connection or your beliefs or your thought patterns or anything like that. It needs to be, the playing field needs to be even. So this person has to be knocked off their pedestal. And then to keep it even, communication from you to them needs to be tempered and earth energy, ground-based communication. And Page of Swords is small communication, right? So it's not, you know, the 10 paragraph text or the 3-hour phone call. It's concise. There's fire behind it. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I want. This is what I believe. This is what I'm doing. And it's rooted in earth, pentacle energy, factual energy. I like that. And we no emotion. I mean, even the 2 cups on the temperance card are well balanced, which is usually what you don't see in tarot. A lot of the decks, they have 1 cup here, 1 cup here. But in your deck, it's well balanced. So it's almost like emotion free. Okay, let's clarify that Knight of Cups. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. Tell me about the Knight of Cups here for Scorpio. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Knight of Cups is clarified by the Queen of Wands, the Strength card, and the 9 of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords, 2 of Swords, Queen of Swords, and 10 of Cups. Look at all the queens now that suddenly start to show up for you, because the Queen of Cups, for me, is the most passive queen in tarot. It's the most intuitive queen, but very passive. But there's something here like you're able to take control back from this situation or this connection or this group or work environment or partner, whoever this is for you, once you take that inspired action. And it's going to take a lot, because I think a lot of you have been conditioned to believe that you can't speak your mind, or you'll be shut down, or you'll be excommunicated, or, you know, ostracized or isolated. But the Queen of Wands, that's my magic queen in tarot. She's usually depicted with the black cat next to her. So yeah, there's something here about you tapping a little bit into your Mars. I know that it's still there. They might have reclassified you, Scorpio, but your Mars is still in there. There's something about you tempering your Mars, right? Strength is Leo energy, fire energy. But again, it's quiet fire. It's quiet fire to take the initiative to speak, because if you don't do this, you end up in the 8 and 9 of Swords. It all bottles up emotionally, it bottles up in your head, and then, like I said, it comes to an head in the form of a tower. Take your power back. And don't do it in the same way that this person took their power back. You don't want to reverse roles here. What you want to do is level and even the playing field. Because if you reverse roles, then you're no better than the person or people who have done this to you. Let's get 3 cards of advice, and we will wrap up your reading, my dear. 3 cards of advice here for Scorpio. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Your advice. 7 of Cups, the 6 of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. Ooh, I love this. Moving forward, we think before we speak. Again, earth energy, hermit energy. We think before we speak. Before we... This is the Queen of Swords. Look at how this comes out. 6 of Swords and 7 of Cups. Queen of Swords. When we're speaking, we move away from all the emotion. We remove the emotion. And that's hard to do. I'm a Gemini. That's hard to do. My ruling planet is Mercury. And usually when I'm communicating about emotions. So, and maybe that's why I'm a Scorpio moon and I'm resonating a little bit with this message today, because I have a lot of emotions come out in my words as well. So there's something here about when you effectively communicate to be, you know, the Queen of Swords is the Queen of Brevity. She's short. She's sweet. She's my queen. I'm not always in Queen of Swords energy, to be quite honest, but she is short. She is sweet. She is, like I said, the Queen of Brevity, the Queen of Simplicity. She can effectively communicate without getting her feelings involved. 6 of Swords to the 7 of Cups. I leave my feelings there and I stick to the facts, and that's it. And I tell you everything in this concise little 2-sentence, which clearly I did not do today because it took me over 20 minutes to get your message out. But that's what I have for you, Scorpio. We have the Hermit. We have the 3 of Cups. We have the 8 of Cups and 9 of Wands. Yeah, time to walk away from this pattern. This pattern of pushing things down for the sake of happiness, you know, just to kind of keep things content, to make the person think we're going along with them, because that's technically what you're doing when you're, and you, we, whatever. But that's technically what we do, right? When we don't want to say anything, the other person assumes that we're on the same page as them, or that we're agreeing to what they're doing or what they're believing or what they're saying. So there's something here about a pattern like that. So again, this individual needs to be taken down a few notches, taken off of their pedestal, not in an aggressive way, just by you showing up differently. And so your future self is telling you it's time for you to reclaim your voice, to not fear isolation, to not fear ostracization. I can't say that word. To not fear isolation, to not fear being ostracized, to not fear being rejected, and to speak your truth from a very grounded and simplistic way. That is what I have for you, Scorpio. That's your message from your future self. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.